Okay, okay. As what I've said, I like what I saw. I saw
Hmm.
flexibility in the team itself, depending on the style that he wants to go with. Yeah. So it makes me feel like there is a possible chance
Hmm.
for we to get something in this game. Yes, at least at home. All right. Will it be good enough to go back to Canada? That's for our next one. We will have to leave that until that time. But what I
Hmm.
want to ask, because we want to get into the deep dive. So the first thing we have to ask you, how much this record that Jamaica has against Canada will play in effect, and vice versa.
Hmm. I'd say call me in the 60th minute. If you reach the 60th minute in Jamaica and it's still 0-0, um, I think at that point the Reggae Girlz can start to say, "Yeah, this is not the Canada of years past, and we aren't the Jamaica of years past." There's not going to be 9 goals scored. Jordan Heidema's not getting her 16. So, like in that case, like it get me in the 60th minute, because the one thing Canada has struggled to do, and this is why when I start off, I think I'm more interested in the deployment of players versus the squad itself. There's the players they have can break down the low block, but where you're deploying them doesn't allow them necessarily to play to their strengths to do so, right? Like Bev likes her 4-2-3-1 effectively, and I think for the best way is having Quinn as your one holding and letting Grosso and Fleming have that ball. And if you do that, that allows them to put those 5 players up top along with the wingers, which will probably be uh, Adrian Leon and Nichelle Prince for that first game, and then either Haidema or Sinclair up top. Probably Haidema based off of her form. But if you give those 5 players some room to navigate, I think they can do an effective job. Then you throw in an Ashley Lawrence overlapping on one of the sides. I think they can. But if you get them to sit back a little bit more, if you cause especially a Grosso to have to get the ball from so much more deep and try to initiate the attack from there, it's not necessarily that she can't do it. It's not to her strengths. So I think if if Jamaica can make it tight and make it uncomfortable, you reach that 60th minute in Jamaica and it's still 0-0, the record won't really matter. But if by the 60th minute maybe it's 2-0, then maybe you start thinking it's here we go again, and you have to press, because right now Jamaica's job is to keep this, get a goal and just keep it tight and keep it uncomfortable. They're in a much better spot if they score first, because that's their style of play. If they have to open the game up and go up and down, Canada is fine playing that game. They are more than fine playing that game, but they'd rather make you come to them and them dictate the game versus having to really press. Not to say that they can't do it, but they have the ability to play either game. So I'm very much more curious to see how it is. But in terms of the history, let me know in the 60th minute, because right now, Canada's main issue has been scoring goals, right? Where are the goals going to come from? And Jamaica has done a good job of saying, you will not find goals here. So it's the perfect storm of what moves, the incredible defense or the history of, no, we'll get our 3 or our 4. And that's what I'll be watching for.
Well said, because that's the first thing I think most people would say. They still have Canada, even though you're saying that they're not that highest level. I still believe that you will have Leon, Prince, and Idema
Hmm.
creating as much problems, because they do have the pace, they do have the power, they have the finishing ability. The last
Hmm.
time they did hurt us as well. All right. And we had good defensive setup as well from that time, but they still
Hmm.
found a way to hurt us. So I'm not going to drop that guard right there. But what I would say we have to try to score first in order to win this game. And
Hmm.
definitely we have to try and push them as far as 60 minutes in this game, not conceding. So make them start to take something from the game, like take a back from the game, because I do believe that they honestly believe that they're the better team. And even the coach, the way he talks, he would believe that they're the better team as well. So if it's not working out for them, bring that frustration. So that's what I would say they have to try and
Hmm.
work with. They do have the talent in Simmons, and also we have Bonisha, which is one of the Ballon d'Or candidates.
Hmm.
Maybe. Africans would say not close, but yeah, that's the type of caliber of player she is. That's what I was trying to allude to.
Yeah, no,
All
she is.
right.
She
Yes.
is. She is.
So with that said, you want to make sure you can give them even one chance to stay in the game, because I don't believe this would be a game, not a series, if we can't get at least a win or a draw in Jamaica. Something to wet our feet. To be honest, if we lose in Jamaica, it's going to be almost next to impossible to go to Canada and win. To be honest, we have to get something to motivate us right here. So 60 without conceding should be the aim of the day. All right. So based on what you saw, Africans, and based on what everyone saw viewing the videos, let me know your thoughts. Oh, you think the first leg will go? You're still confident in your Canada? Or are you saying Jamaica taking this one?
I can see a 0-0 draw happening in this first game. You have what's the status with the game right now? Because the game in Canada has been sold out for some time. I thought about going, and when I said I will think about it, everyone bought the ticket. So I will not. I will be on a stream or somewhere watching that game, but I will not be there. Jade, I told you, I was asking you, hey, how much are tickets in Jamaica? Because that's the closest way
no,
I'll see a ticket.
if you're going to Jamaica, you could have just gotten the ticket. It's not expensive at all. Even the most expensive ticket ain't expensive at all. Yeah, and a lot of seats there, a lot of seats there, but hopefully the personals them try the best to come out and get involved, because the girls them need the support, and ladies football in general need the support.
Agreed.
Hopefully they can come across and put out as much. They're trying to give away free tickets, at least I've heard. Person said to me, yes. So hopefully they give as much free tickets to all of the younger kids them to come in and try to make it an atmosphere. Right. So for me, I agree. I could see a draw in this one based on the way I think this coach is going to actually set up. He said something, he's going to go at Brazil. That was not the case. So I don't believe him anymore when he said he's going to go out. I just know he's going to go out with the players. But it's going to be defensive and then somewhat attacking in latter stages of the game, unless you're conceded very early. All right. Yes. So I do believe it's going to be the same style, and I could see a draw. It's looking tough for me to say that Jamaica will win, but I'm just hoping. But I could see a 0-0 draw with Jamaica trying their best to stop Canada from scoring. And once you're trying to stop someone from scoring, it becomes a hard way to score.
Yeah.
Because you're so fixated on doing that, you isolate the forwards a lot of times. So I could see a 0-0 draw, and that's what I'm leading towards. I think they might have it in them to get a 0-0 draw or scrape a 1-0 win. Any big result, like over 2 goals, I think it's going to be Canada scoring the 2 goals. I don't see Jamaica winning over the 2 goals barrier. I just believe that it's going to either be a 1-0 victory or a 0-0 draw. And if it's over 2, so I'm pretty much giving 3 separate predictions.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's do that, Jade. Let's do that. Your worst case scenario, your realistic, and then your best case scenario.
Yes, my worst case scenario, we lose over 2 goals. But my best case scenario, we win it 1-0 after a tough battle of not letting them score for 60 minutes. And more than likely, it's going to be a draw. All right, so that's what I'm leaning for. So please let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What say you, Africans, or are your 3 results looking?
For me, I'd say my worst case scenario is a 2-0 defeat, and a 2-0 defeat where it's, think of for everyone who watched the Champions League on Tuesday, think of the first half. Manchester City versus Red Star Belgrade, right? Think about that game where it's Manchester's just hitting, Erling Haaland is playing the crossbar challenge, every crossbar he hits, and then Osman Bukhari comes in, scores a goal, and then you're dominating everything, but then the scoreboard says you are down. That's my worst case scenario. Canada can have all the possession, they hit a post, Rebecca Spence makes all the saves, and then Bunny Shaw just needs one chance, one opportunity, and then they get one sometime in the game, and then they get another one at the end. of the game and it's 2-0 and you're going up to Canada and you just have to defend, which causes a lot of stress for people. That's my worst case scenario. My realistic scenario is I could see this being a 1-1 or a 0-0 draw, but I think a realistic case is probably a 1-0 win for Canada. And I'm going goal scorer, specifically Jesse Fleming. I just rewatched the other matchup against Jamaica in Concacaf W. Jesse Fleming with the late runs, right? Jesse Fleming with the late runs
That was
arriving.
not our real team. That was not
And that's
our real
fine.
intention. We just gave you that game because the coach never he was not interested in that game. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he had already qualified, and that's fair. Lauren had only had the team for so much time, so you didn't get to see the full version of that. But late arriving runs from Jesse Fleming or Julia Grosso getting a goal, that I think is a realistic. And then my best case scenario is like a 3-1 win where you get it, it's comfortable. Jamaica gets one. Think of the Australia England game at the World Cup, right? England gets their goals, Australia gets back into it, and then they put it away, and the game is done, and you're going back to Toronto up 3-1, and you're breathing a little bit easier. That's my best case scenario. So worst case scenario, Canada loses 2-0. Realistic scenario, Canada wins 1-0. My best case scenario is Canada wins 3-1.
All right, guys. So here you have it. Please do smash the like button, share, and definitely subscribe. Let me know how you guys have it in